Alrighty, so the live stream is over, and we have a couple of things to go over, of course. I'm not going to go over all of the things in their entirety, because I'm going to have to do that again whenever the global patch notes come out, and the translations are going to be a lot better, so it'll be easier for me to understand stuff, and you know how it goes. So, anyways, we have the brand new festival character. It is a Light Elizabeth, and she is Queen Elizabeth. We're going to mute that, so that way we don't have to worry about it. But, yeah, so we have some PvP gameplay. It's not terribly impressive gameplay, I'll be honest. They move a lot of cards around and stuff like that. I'm assuming to utilize passives and stuff like that, but I am going to, I'll let you see some of the stuff that she can do really quickly, just some of the damage and everything. She has a single target attack skill and an AoE attack skill, which is kind of cool. So I guess you'll be able to see the AoE skill right here. Yeah, I don't know. It's she seems to be a DPS character, which is cool. 216 is not like terribly impressive. She has these stacks that sort of just like build up as you use attack skills and stuff like that. And then once you have 4 stacks, you can actually attack with a single target, and you'll get like more stats and stuff from the stacks themselves. But once you have 4 stacks, you attack with a single target. It is going to cancel the stance on a character and stun them. So she has like a stun built into her passive, which is very interesting. But overall, I would say that she seems pretty cool. I actually do like the unit. I'm not, sure exactly how it's going to play out, and obviously the gameplay should be a little bit better whenever the the JP and KR players get a hold of her. But yeah, I don't know. You can see here they literally just like push around for cards. Like both teams actually just end up merging a lot. So I don't know. It wasn't like terribly impressive gameplay wise, but you can see her on the field here. She's got some really cool effects. She even puts these like light swords sticking into the enemies, which is I think is really cool. There's just a lot of cool effects on the field here, and there's also this really nice health bar sort of effect that goes on. Unfortunately, they literally only attacked once right there, but once you get her with max stacks, you'll be able to see the health bar get this like really cool like glimmer effect on it. They don't end up attacking with Mael here. Okay, they once again did not attack at all that turn. I think they just literally pushed for Liz's ultimate, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know what they're doing with their gameplay here. But yeah, you can see this really cool looking sparkle effect and everything on the health bar. I like that they do stuff like that. It's very cool. It's very unsurprising, but they end up ulting with her and doing a lot of damage. So they're going to single target first. This is actually going to stun the character because she has max stacks of her passive. So 260 on a level 1 is pretty nice, but they've waited so many turns to do this. And then, of course, because this is a brand new festival character, 1.8 mil on a 6/6 ult with an AoE is pretty standard, I think. It's not like terribly impressive. I mean, it's really good damage, of course. It's going to kill everybody on the field, so that's cool, but that's pretty standard as far as festival characters go nowadays. So let's look at the actual translations for the character. Thank you to Kane from the 7DS Leaks Discord for obviously translating here. There's obviously a lot to look at. So Queen Elizabeth, Queen's authority is the passive. At the start of the battle, apply intervention of light for 2 turns to all enemies, and for every specific ally present on the battlefield, increases the unit's all stats by 7%. So that's a 21% attack or a stat increase. All stats is pretty crazy too, which means like that. The one thing that I always think about with all stats is lifesteal. Lifesteal is pretty crazy. So 21% alone from the passive is nuts. When an ally uses an attacking skill, applies Goddess Fury to herself. Also, when the Goddess's Fury is fully stacked, when the unit uses a single target skill, removes all stacks of Goddess Fury from the unit, and then removes the stance of the targeted enemy and applies a stun for 1 turn. So she has a built-in stun, which is kind of crazy. So even if you attack seal or like attack disable her with like Chandler, for example, she's still going to be able to stun you, which is kind of wild to think about. So intervention of light from the passive here is decreases attack-related stats by 10%. So that's the debuff that they put on the enemies. If the unit with this debuff has less than 3 ultimate move gauge orbs and gets attacked, it reduces 1 ultimate move gauge orb from the unit. So you have some built-in sort of like ult gauge removal, which is interesting. Maybe there won't be as many like ult rushes, which is kind of nice. I'm not a big fan of ult rushing. Her specific allies from the passive here, she can actually be ran with humans, goddesses, or Seven Deadly Sins units. So I'm very happy about that. A lot of people, I assumed, were just guessing that she was going to be a goddess-only character. I'm very happy that she's going to have some variety here, so that's great. Goddess's Fury, on the other hand, which are the stacks that she gives herself, are increases attack-related stats by 6%, max of 24, because there can be 4 stacks of it. So 24% attack-related stats is pretty nice. That's obviously crit damage, crit chance, and attack itself. So that's cool. Pierce rate as well. Her first skill, which is a really weird word, expurgation, never seen that word in my life, inflicts severe punishment damage by 200% of attack on one enemy. So this is the single target skill. It is severe punishment is ×3 pierce rate for every goddess fury applied to the unit. Increases damage by 20%. So that is going to be a pretty heavy-hitting card, I think, at higher levels, which is going to be insane. Obviously, you want to build up those passive stacks and everything. But the other skill is Divine Sparkle, which is the AoE skill, and it has Rage, which is for every 1% of remaining HP, damage increases by 1%. So it's kind of like Flood, but if the unit has full stacks of Goddess Fury, damage is increased by 50%. So should hit pretty hard. I don't know, we'll kind of have to see about it whenever we actually fight in the meta and stuff like that, because the ult rushing and everything didn't really showcase it too well, but who knows. The ultimate is Will of the Light. Apply attack-related stat boost by 50% for 2 turns. That's 50% at 6/6, by the way. It's 10% at 1/6. For 2 turns to herself, and inflict damage equal to 750% of attack on all enemies, and apply Intervention of Light for 2 turns. So, Intervention of Light was the one up here where it decreases the attack-related stats and the ultimate move gauge if they have less than 3, so that's interesting. When the unit is in the battlefield and the ally's turn ends, if the surviving ally is more than 2, so if you have more than 2 allies on the field, apply 1 turn of Goddess Blessing to the unit with at least with least HP left based on the proportion from HP or max HP of the unit, and to the unit who didn't receive the buff gets 20% damage reduction. So there's a 10 turn limit on that. I'm not exactly sure how this part plays out exactly, but in the patch notes here, you can see that the scaling on it goes from 10% attack related to 50%, and then down here it's actually only a limit of 2 turns, whereas this is 10 turns. And then there's no effect for the damage. You get no damage reduction at the very beginning here on the first 2 levels, and then it's 1 turn damage reduction or something like that. Exactly. I'm not sure. The translations on this one are really weird. I'm probably going to have to see the global ones. If you have any insight on that, let me know. But Goddess's Blessing is what one of the characters gets. The other one gets damage reduction. Goddess's Blessing is when death, revive with the previous HP left before death. So it's literally just a revive. So kind of crazy. Kind of like a Goddess Liz and a Light Liz sort of mixed together in a way. Or maybe not as much Light Liz, but either way, she's pretty cool looking. I don't know. There's a lot going on here. Goddesses have gotten a lot of support, so we'll see how that kind of turns out. But I'm excited nonetheless. But the banner is pretty nuts. So there are some really nice things about this banner too. So obviously there's a crazy lineup here, tons of units in the banner. So pulling something specific is probably going to be pretty tough, but 0.25% on the main character, of course. We have Mael, Purgatory Meli, the one ultimate, Transcendent Bond, Traitor Meli, we have Lost Vein Meli, and we have Margaret as our festival characters. So they did throw all of the LR units in here, which is great, because if you need those, that would be a good pull. They did throw Tyr and Roxy in, which were great. I think these were the top 5 most rated up or like voted for characters. So you have Summer Margaret as well, which is great for Nidhogg. You have Freyr. You have both Freyas. You have Tristan, who I'm not a big fan of, but obviously he's a backliner for the Goddess team, so that could help out right now. You have Spring Liz, which is pretty bad. You have New Year's Mono, who's okay, but damage is pretty lackluster. You have Red Magelda. You have Green Brunhild, Sigurd, and the the green mono here. Those are probably like my least favorite picks out of the whole lineup, but they do have their uses, so I guess it is what it is. I'd say maybe the worst one is like the green mono here. You have green Ludo, which probably isn't going to get too much use if you're actually going for LR Ludo, of course. You have Jelly King on here, which is crazy because there's so many opportunities to get Jelly King all of a sudden, and you have Jormungand. So there's a really, really nice lineup here. One of the best parts about this banner, though, is at the 900 mark, you get to choose one of these 6 characters. So you get to choose any of the main lineup here, which is insane. So you can choose Mael if you need him. You can choose Bon if you need him. You can choose Traitor Meli if you need him. The fact that they're just letting you choose at the 900 mark instead of just immediately giving you a Liz copy, I think is fantastic. So if you pull Liz early, you don't care about getting dupes for her or anything like that, you can obviously just throw, you know, an extra dupe for a character. Or if you don't have these characters and you didn't pull them on the banner, you can guarantee those as well. So honestly, tons and tons of value here. They are doing the power-up tickets as well that have a 6% rate. I don't really recommend these because they're kind of a, I don't want to say a scam, but they are definitely not the greatest value money-wise, but it is what it is. We're going to go over some of the patch notes here. Obviously, there's a lot to go over, so I'm not going to go over it in its entirety. So we're just going to kind of hit the highlights here. Obviously, we have the new Liz. Here are the new outfits. I think they actually look pretty good. You're not really going to be able to see them too well from this picture, but it is what it is. We do have a new card set, which is this one right here. So it is a Knighthood Boss card set. Increases allies' basic stats by 1%, and damage received will be reduced by 2%, maximum of 5% and 10%. Not really that impressive, I'll be honest with you. I don't really care about that card set. We do have one new Holy Relic, unfortunately. I say unfortunately. I was hoping that they would give 2, and I think a lot of people were hoping like Traitor Meli or somebody like really exciting was going to get one. I'm actually very happy that Monspeed is finally getting a little bit of love, but obviously not what people were expecting. I am kind of interested in his Holy Relic, though. If you can see here, it does take Nidhogg Relic materials, which is might be kind of hit or miss for some of you guys, but the passive for it is at the start of the ally's turn, apply 2 Ignite stacks to all enemies for 3 turns, and if all allies in battle are demon allies, you apply an additional stack, so that'll be 3 stacks on everybody. For each Ignite effect on the enemy, increases damage dealt to allies, or increases damage dealt by 3%, up to 10 times. So it's pretty cool. He's basically just the better, or I don't want to say better, he's like another option for Kyo. I was wondering when they were going to sort of like release a sort of replacement unit for him, since Kyo's a collab character. He's kind of hard to get. Everybody in the chat was talking about that he could be good for Croc Shell, which is definitely true, but the fact that he is a Nidhogg relic is a little disappointing because it's not going to be very easy to get him. I would have liked to have seen him as maybe like a Dog's relic at the worst, but we'll see how it goes. It does work in every game mode, though, so I don't know. He might be kind of fun in PvP as well. I mean, the Demon team is kind of on the downtrend at the moment, but we'll have to see, of course, whenever they come out. Here is the coin shop stuff. I'm actually kind of interested to see if I can get Margaret, but you know, after looking at the banner, the only non-light or dark characters you can pull festival-wise are Margaret herself and Lostfane. So unless I pull a Lostfane copy, I'm not going to be able to trade for Margaret, which is a little unfortunate. So, I mean, if you've been saving up these coins or anything, could be a decent chance, but not a whole lot of coins that you can actually pull that you would be willing to trade for. So either way, we do have new bundles, of course, power-up bundles and everything. There is a 200 gem login bonus, so that's really, really nice. They are bringing back the jumping box event this time, and there are some really good rewards in here. So you can see Traitor Meliodas right here. The rewards, the big ones at least, there are some gear chests and everything, and a free multi for the banner, but the characters from the part 1, because they do 2 parts of these, the second one will be out after the 2-week update, is the Green Princess Elizabeth, which is kind of whatever. She's like free, if I'm not mistaken. You also get Champion Meliodas, who is not really good, never has been really good, and you do get a free copy of Traitor Meliodas at level 90, which is great. I mean, that's a free dark character. I mean, he was the first dark character, so I guess it's kind of fitting that they're wanting to give him away. So if you don't have him, or you just need dupes for him, or whatever the case, he's free. So that's awesome. That really is. He's a super helpful character to have. Really, really good for a lot of PvE stuff. So that's awesome. They are giving out a free copy of Blue Elat as well. Obviously, definitely not as exciting, but yeah, you're definitely going to want to do this. I think in the live stream itself, they showed a little panel with some seasonal characters on it. I assume that they're going to do a jumping box part 2, and it's probably going to have a seasonal character ticket on there where you'll be able to grab a free seasonal unit. They did show, I think it was like New Year's Mono and Summer Deanne and a couple of other characters in there. So that's going to be really nice as well. So it should be in the update 2 weeks after this update comes out. So if you're unaware, this update comes out on Tuesday for Global, comes out tomorrow for JP and KR. The special missions look pretty good. You get a free multi's worth, you get a bunch of jumping box of tickets, and you get a level 90 awakening token. So that's really nice. So that'll be pretty helpful. They do have the Blessings event coming back. Parts 3, 4, and 5 are unlocked after the 2-week update. We also have the card turning event, which is fine. You just get free rewards from these, which is cool. Noteworthy, you get some jumping box tickets here and one of the card packs. The rest of the stuff is just regular sort of rewards. They are bringing back the boss parade back with Malik, Gloom, and Baruja. So I think it starts with Malik on whenever the update drops, and the other bosses get released later on. One of the biggest things here is, of course, for the clearing, you're going to get a card pack and the jumping box tickets. But in the exchange shop, you're going to be able to get a lucky box bag, which is great, or the lucky bags tickets, which are really, really good. And you get an additional 10 LR seals. So I think they're becoming a little bit more aware that people need LR seals. In the new set of dev notes, they actually talk about the fact that people are not very happy with the way the LR seals work at the moment. So they're planning on increasing the cap on the amount that you can hold, and they're planning on making it to where different contents will actually give additional LR seals as well. So it shouldn't be nearly as hard to sort of like grind out and get these LR seals going forward. So that's going to be really, really good. So there are the foods, or the regular stuff. There is a new food. I think I have it right here. It is increases amount of evolution materials and increases reinforcement materials obtained on Annihilation Battle by 100%. So this is going to double your cosmetic enhancement materials that you drop during raids, which is pretty cool, honestly. I mean, it's not really bad. I mean, new foods are cool. Obviously, this is going to be a limited time food for the anniversary, but use it while you got it. So other than that, they should end up updating the exchange shop for the other 2 bosses when those come out as well. I assume there will just be more of these jumping box tickets and stuff like that. So we'll have to see whenever they do release some more updates. So here are some just random... these are what you're getting from the Fort Solgris dungeon. So you're going to be able to get 2 gems, actually, which is really nice. And you'll get some of those foods as well. So make sure you're doing the special dungeon each day after the update comes out for sure. There is the food. The King Exchange is back, of course. They're boosting some stuff like they normally do. Here are the lucky bag drop rates. They look pretty standard. Actually, some of the stuff looks really, really nice. There's even some holy relic materials in here. So I think the lucky bags are like $2 to $3 a piece, and you would have to buy like 3 of them. So if you want to like guarantee yourself all of the rewards and 25 diamonds, you could potentially do that, which is cool. There is a new Hawk Pass on JP, and for whatever reason, they are giving Lost Vein a second Hawk Pass outfit. It's a skater boy outfit, which is fine, I guess, but he was one of the first character, or maybe not first characters, but he already has a Hawk Pass outfit that's really old. It's like a chef's outfit when they were doing the chef stuff. So the fact that he's now getting a second Hawk Pass outfit is a little weird. I'm not very happy about that, but I guess it is what it is. Oh well. So either way, if you need Lost Vein cosmetics, you can feel free to grab those whenever this comes on to Global, or whatever version you play on, I guess. Village donation event for the JP side of things, new battle event. There are a couple of changes here. They're increasing the player rank from 110 to 120, so now you can have a little bit more stamina and a couple of extra friend slots, which is fine. I think they are adding the King Material Exchange. I think this is just like all around. This used to be a thing that they would do only during festival events and stuff like that, but I think they're just making it to where if you have extra LR seals now, you can just trade them for the Constellation Stones anytime, which I guess is fine. If they're going to be making it to where you get a lot more, or I say a lot more, if you can just get more LR seals in general, you might actually be able to get some decent use out of this, but I don't know how many people are going to be willing to sacrifice LR seals for those. But who knows? Maybe if you're sitting on a whole bunch of LR, seals and you don't have anything to do with them, I guess. But it seems a little bit of like a whaler sort of option than anything. They're also making it to where you can summon multiple demons at a time, which is really cool. And I'm not exactly sure how it works just yet, but they're removing the restriction for normal demons. So Red Demon, Gray Demon, and Howlix Demon. I think you're going to be able to farm them infinitely at this point, which is pretty cool. So should be some pretty cool things there. I don't know how many of you need Gray Demon, Red Demon, or Howlix Demon mats at this point, but if you're a newer player or something, you might need to. I have not farmed any of those demons in a really long time, but I know that everybody is not in the same situation that I am. So it should be nice, just quality of life improvement, of course. So that should be pretty cool. Other than that, I think it's all pretty standard stuff. They added ELAT to the permanent gacha and everything. There's a couple of weird things here that, like this part, I don't really understand whatever this piece is here, but they're obviously changing the seasonal characters for the new Heroes Arena season because there's a new character coming out. But overall, it's looking like a really nice update. A lot of free rewards, a lot of free stuff, free summons, free diamonds, everything you could pretty much ask for a festival. So this is looking really nice so far. One noteworthy thing is there is not a new story chapter, which is very odd. Normally for these festivals they end up coming out with a new story chapter. The fact that there's not one is maybe a little concerning. I'm not sure if they're trying to really focus down on making it, I guess, as good as they can for the end of the year. But I was expecting a chapter during this festival and the next one to finish off the Seven Deadly Sins story, but I guess we'll just kind of see how things kind of work out. But yeah, new Light Liz looking pretty cool. New festival stuff looking pretty cool. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on it. Hopefully this was helpful. Feel free to subscribe. I'll see you later.